What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about AMC GME as well as the overall broader market, and after that we're going to check the options flow for all three of them. So today AMC was up for 7.13% for the day. It had a high of $12.97. Average volume on AMC is around 52.20 million, but today's volume was around 37.13 million. So today's volume was a slight bit higher than the yesterday's volume that we got in AMC, just because the Federal Reserve increased the interest rate hike by 0.75 basis point. What we were expecting, it was a 50 basis point, but just after having a very record high inflation number that got released recently, after that Jerome Powell came out today and he increased the interest rate to 0.75 instead of the 50, which led the market to be rallied along with many other stocks, even AMC as well as GME. Now, 0.75 basis point was expected to create some sort of a bullish momentum coming into the market. We were not expecting Jerome Powell could be doing that, because he has been saying this thing from the past that he will be sticking to 50 basis point, but after the latest inflation disaster, he changed his mind and today he's increased the interest rate hike to 0.75, which is pretty good for the overall broader market. In a very short term, we might experience some sort of a rally coming into the overall broader market from here onwards. Now let's come over to the GameStop. Now GameStop was up for 2.47% for the day. It had a high of $131.96. The average volume on GameStop is around 5.18 million, but today's volume was around 2.69 million. Now, as we already know, the upward momentum that has been experienced in the overall broader market is taking AMC as well as GME to the upside. But we know that the shorts will start covering their short position if the overall broader market goes up a slight bit more aggressively. I personally am expecting some sort of a aggressive upward momentum coming into the overall broader market from here onwards for the next week or two. For that, we just have to wait and see if this is going to play out in our way. Now let's come over to the SPY. Now SPY was up for 1.43% for the day. It had a high of $383.90. Now we know that the SPY was having a pretty solid upward momentum, and then suddenly it started going down just before the market closed. Now I personally think that we are going to go up from here onwards. The market is in a very oversold state, and we have quite a bit of gap that is coming into this chart of SPY, and even many other stocks, all of them are almost having some sort of a gap in between, which will be most likely covered in this rally that we're going to experience from here onwards. Now we won't be seeing anybody coming out creating any kind of a negative news in the overall broader market. Now we're gonna have slight bit of upward momentum to the upside, and then we're gonna experience the next level of downtrend coming into the overall broader market. Now when we have a look over the VIX, now VIX came down a little bit. It was though down to $27, but then it started rising up a slight bit, which was creating a little bit fear for a lot of investors to make a position for themselves in the mini bull run that we're going to experience from here onwards. Now I personally believe the VIX will go down a little bit more further from here onwards, which means that we're going to have an upward momentum coming into the overall broader market. We just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. Now let's come over to the options flow for the AMC. Now we increase the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now these whales were buying these leap options. These are $60 put options. Now these are a little bit suspicious, but these individuals are taking a safe side because they know that AMC can short up quite a bit, and especially now when we're going to experience a rally that is going to come into the overall broader market. So these individuals are buying a leap option. This is a $60 put option. That's way too much deep in the money option these individuals are buying. Now when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the mini whale and the retail are doing, now majority of them are still on to the downside, but there were quite a bit of call buying that was happening in AMC, and these individuals are extremely confident that the AMC is going to go up from here onwards. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit more further and see what the mini retail is doing, now majority of them are onto the upside. Now these mini retails are buying call options, and they are all betting that the AMC is going to go up from here onwards. Some of the individuals are buying this $145 call option as well, which I personally think it makes no sense, because there will be a quite a bit of theta decay, and even you won't be able to make any money if there is quite a bit of movement coming into the stock. Now options could be very risky. You need to understand how the Greeks work. If you don't understand how the Greeks works, you might take trades like this, which makes no sense right now. And even if you want to make some money out of this trade, it's very hard. Even if AMC move $5 to $10, still it won't impact much of a return out of this kind of a call option. Now these $13 call option that are coming in quite a bit, that can make a little bit money if AMC moves quite a bit. But yes, I'm also expecting there will be some sort of upward momentum coming into AMC and GME from here onwards. The rest, there was nothing majorly suspicious coming out of the options flow for the AMC. Now let's come over to the options flow for the GameStop. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly the whales are doing. Now these whales were buying call options as well as some put options. Now they were these individuals, these are buying deep in the money call options, and they are betting that the GameStop is going to go up from here onwards. And there were some of these leap options that were coming in. These are $40 call options. These are way too much deep in the money, and they are expecting some sort of upward momentum coming into GameStop from here onwards. Now these were these very suspicious put options that are coming in. These individuals are buying $900 to $950 put option, and these are leap options. It makes no sense to buy that kind of a deep in the money put option until and unless we might experience some sort of a very aggressive momentum coming into the stock from here onwards. Now I personally believe we won't be going to those kind of levels in this kind of a market, because there is no liquidity out there. When we were in the 2021, we had liquidity still out there, the money was still available, we were still in the bull market. That's why the price went up to $500. Now right now I don't think so that we can reach to these levels, but this is definitely suspicious that they are buying that much amount of deep in the money put options. Now when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the mini whale and the retails are doing, now majority of them are still on to the downside. There is not much of a bullish momentum coming into the stock from the mini whale and the retail side, but they are still quite a bit of call buying. But definitely the options flow has changed quite a bit significantly. Just a week back we were experiencing a pretty bullish momentum coming into the GameStop. Now the options flow has definitely changed. Now when I look at the put to call ratio, call side is definitely heavier as compared to the put side. The volume is definitely stronger onto the put side. The premium are heavy onto the put side as well. The rest, there was nothing majorly suspicious coming out of the options flow for the GameStop. Now let's come over to the options flow for the SPY. Now I've increased the premium to max and see what exactly whale is doing. This individual is buying $385 call option that's going to expire in 6 days, and he's buying 60,106 contract. He's paying $19.5 million for the market to go up from here onwards. Now, this individual bought when the SPY was around 377.50. Definitely, he is making a little bit of money onto the trade right now, and we are a slight bit up in the aftermarket as well. Hope for the best that the SPY is going to go up from here onwards. Now, I personally believe we are in a very oversold state. We are definitely going to go up from here onwards. But when I bring down the premium and see what exactly the mini whales are doing, majority of them are still onto the downside, and they are betting that the SPY will keep going down from here onwards. But there was some call buying that was happening that was pretty much out of the money, but they were betting that the SPY is going to go up from here onwards. But majority of them are still on to the downside, though there was nothing majorly suspicious coming out of it. Now when I bring down the premium a little bit more further and see what exactly the mini whales are doing, again majority of them are on to the downside, and they are all expecting that the SPY is going to keep going down from here onwards. Now when I bring up the put to call ratio, we can see the put side is 86% and the 14% is the call side. The volume is pretty heavy on the put side. The premium are pretty heavy onto the put side as well. The rest, there is nothing majorly coming out of the options flow for the SPY. Now we just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. But I personally believe we are going to go up from here onwards for at least a week or two, and then we're going to go towards the neck leg downtrend. So thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe my channel, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Cheers.